putting this on the story.
Oh yeah, I didn't put anything out either. Go on.
But
We are live.
We are live.
Welcome back. Who have we got? Who was down bottom below last time? I can't remember. So we've got at Danny's EPT. We've got Nikki, the Bookish Mindset.
Hello.
And myself, Pac-Man. Alistair
Pac-Man.
Man. Welcome back, ladies. I can't believe another week has passed. It's episode number
Quick.
5. Episode 5.
5, I think, because I've done 2 on Instagram and I haven't uploaded the other 2, so this must make 5.
5 episodes in. So that means we're at end of week 5 of lockdown. And end of week 5 of infinite amount of lockdown.
Yeah.
So
yeah, week 5 of the to be confirmed.
And I hope all our listeners are maybe settling into another new normal. And I hope that they've been listening and keep progressing in this to the same levels that Danny and Nikki have. Because so anybody who doesn't know, I've been recovering from the old vid, the old COVID.
Man got Rona.
So yeah, when it got Rona, it's not a laughing matter, Danny.
It's not a laughing matter.
It's not. I'm very fortunate that I've had mild symptoms, and even that has floored me in terms of energy levels and fatigue. So stay at home, stay safe, wear your fucking mask. That's Alistair. That's Alistair's Boris and Houseman. Yeah, I've been trying to sort of keep going. I have managed to keep working and been very quiet on social media and things because I am just generally tired, and facing social media seems like a massive task. And I don't know why. It seems normally so easy, but it's been quite nice to just take a break because I've not even been looking and scrolling. I've just been leaving it as is. But I have been reading, and I've finally been able to get myself back to reading Mindset by Carol Dweck. And I know that I think Nikki's read it and Danny's read it when I've spoken about it before.
Yeah.
I find you've not read it.
No, I know what it is. It's on the list. It's on that ever long list of things to read.
Maybe we can inspire you to read it, Nikki.
I will.
I think you need to bump it up.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a to be read list of about 40 at the moment. 20 physical and 20, another 100 or so written down. But yeah, sure. Those numbers don't add up. I know what I mean.
No excuses, Nikki. You could start reading one every day.
Oh,
but
I'm so sorry.
I've been trying to. This is one of these books that is one that I've probably should have put down because I was really struggling to read it. And I changed. Like, I want to read it. Like, in terms of the content, it really fits me, especially as a coach. But the style of writing I've found really difficult for a couple of reasons. Right, I'm a simple man, so I like really short chapters because I find it really difficult to read a book where I don't like. I'm a completer. I like to complete things. So when I finish reading a page, it needs to like be at the end of a paragraph or a chapter. Now, this book doesn't flow in terms of leaving chapters at the bottom of the page or like leaving paragraphs at the bottom of the page or leaving sections and moving them to the top of the page. They just flow from page to page. And they're quite long chapters. And I just find it, so I was finding it really difficult to read. And I was like, do you know what, Anthony, Alistair? This book's all about mindset. And is that just my mindset for reading? So I was like, do you know what? You read 10 pages and it doesn't matter where you finish. And if you need to go back and reread half a page, then that's fine. But you read. Are you
underlining bits as well?
You what? Sorry.
Are you underlining bits in the text, or are you making notes somewhere else?
No, I'm making notes somewhere in my book, but I'm trying not to make too many notes in it. I'm just trying to read it for the enjoyment of reading.
No, all I meant is it sounds if it's one of them that just doesn't stop and you doesn't feel like there's good point to finish. Maybe in pencil, just marking it with a star, because you hate going back and having to reread, and it's almost deja vu when you reread the pages you've already read, or the paragraphs at least, or like the little tabs, the index tabs as sticky notes.
I also learned. I learned, this might help you. Actually, I was listening to a podcast this morning with Jim Quick, and he's very good when it comes to like mindset and stuff. And I learned that if you read faster, you actually focus more, because when you're reading slower, your brain can kind of takes one word at a time, and then it tends to get distracted. And that's why you'll read something and be like, what did I just read? Because your brain's distracted. Whereas if you try and read faster, that means that you have to focus more on what you're actually reading, and you're bound to concentrate more, and you can actually comprehend what's being read.
That's true, because when I drive my car really fast, I'm much more focused and concentrated. So that's
so many people crash.
So when the police pull me over, I'm going to be like, look, right, let me talk to you about mindset.
Sure, that goes down well.
I'm sure that's going to end up in a moment. But yeah, I mean, I've got the best bookmark in the world. It's my reminder that I need my boiler serviced. Fortunately, I did that, but I just thought, bookmark. However, so it's also very.
I'll do an ad here.
You're going to do an ad?
No.
Right, yeah, sorry.
You need a bookmark. You need a bookmark.
Yeah, for market on gas. Hashtag not an ad. I would recommend them if you're in the Bristol area. Anyway, also the book is written by, and I realised this, maybe this is why I was struggling. It's written by an academic.
Okay.
So it's written very much in an academic way. It's referenced. It's got some wording in, like, for example, I realised this when I read a bit where they'd written something and then put a bit in italics to emphasise it. And then at the end of the sentence, it said purposely changed to italics. And I was like, this is why I'm finding it difficult to read. Like, you don't need to put that in there. I know you might need to for an academic purpose, but for a reader, that's, for me, isn't it? As a casual reader, I wouldn't say that that's not necessary. Yeah. But I'm trying to look past those things. And yeah, the other topic is, I was just trying to get back to what the topic is, but it's about fixed and growth mindsets. Which, yeah, I mean, and the book's really well laid out in terms of, it gives you lots of examples of people with fixed and with growth mindsets. And it's part of, like, we might, like, Danny, you might have a very much a growth mindset at this time around your business, but if you, for example, like if Nikki's business is at the moment, she's growing, she'd like to have very much a growth mindset, solutions focused. You're just starting a business, shows that you've got a growth mindset. But what if in 5 years it's all working very well and it's just ticking over? In that time, you might actually start to develop a fixed mindset. So it's not necessarily just about...
It doesn't have to be just new businesses as well. It could be sort of stagnant in a job that you've been in more because it's in your comfort zone, rather than it's something that you want to do, or something that, something that you qualify as something that you want to do. It might be way under what you can actually achieve, but because it's easier to stay in your comfort zone, it's almost a fixed mindset.
Yeah,
maybe. Is that it?
I think it's in terms of a fixed mindset. So the difference between the two, right? Let's go back to the beginning and say what a fixed mindset and
that's a good place to start.
Actually is. So the fixed mindset is almost as if any skill cannot be learned. Like, you're given a certain set of traits and that's it. This is what I was born with. I can't learn anything. And you kind of very closed mindset. You're in a kind of a little bubble. Am I right?
Don't want to change. Can't and won't change, kind of thing.
Yeah. In certain things as well. And you also, you can't take criticism. You don't take it really well, and you don't really use it to your advantage. in the growth mindsets, obviously you're open to criticism and you want to learn from others and you want to grow these new skills and abilities and stuff. And if you don't have the answer, then you can find it. So that's kind of what it is. Am I right in a nutshell?
Yeah, that's right. So,
I'd say so.
and that's where I would like, what I've learned from the book is, even if like you might be a person who says I've got a growth mindset, but actually there might be situations where you don't have a growth mindset. So it's not just you as a person, it's you in certain situations.
For example, relationships. Relationships, you can be a fixed mindset because you're set in your ways and you think, this is how I am, people must love me for who I am. But then when it comes to growth mindset in other aspects of your life, like starting a new business or maybe growing up for further progressing in your career and such, then you can be growth mindset or you can be both. You can switch it around, you know.
Yeah, I mean, even just your mood could dictate what mindset you're in.
Oh yeah.
That's very true.
That you're not you're not fully focused on something. It could be that you're incredibly excited about something, like your new business. And sometimes, like if I was working with, I don't know, like let's just say Nikki at the moment, who's got a big launch coming, and I think you told people about it last week anyway, right? So no spoiler alert. But if you're not subscribed to an email, you might miss out. Being a subscriber to emails is really important, and blogs, right? Because you get special. But you might be in this, like what you want, and you're going to go and do it, and you just go and do it, and you're on a path, and people could be trying to give you feedback and help with it that maybe it doesn't, but you're like so dialed in and on your path that you're sticking with what you've got, and that could be the fixed mindset. But actually, you're perceived from the outside as having a growth mindset because you're doing big things. So it can also be down to people's perception of the situation as well. And I just thought it was like, we're talking about business, books, and body, the BBB, and how actually does it exist and all of those things that even within your reading.
Oh yeah.
As I see me reading a mindset book, and I've got a fixed mindset about it. Yeah, I am.
Go on, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I would have said I've got a growth mindset, and I've always got a growth mindset.
I would definitely say I used to have the very fixed mindset, sort of teenage, late childhood, teenage years, would read sort of rom-com fiction. That would be it. And when I found an author I'd buy then everything that he or she wrote, and that'd be it. And then I'd be very cautious about finding a new author and would want to really check I was in that little safe bubble. But over the last sort of 3-4, I don't know how many years, started reading non-fiction. That's where for me feels like it's a place of growth, because you're educating yourself maybe on something that you know a little bit about and want to know more, or just something brand new entirely, and then branching out to different areas of fiction as well, not just looking at, right, I like that author, so I'm just going to read her stuff. It's actually, okay, why don't we look at the prize lists? Okay, all of these people have been nominated for whatever that prize is. There's probably a good reason for that. It's probably a good read. That's the right word.
Do you know, I'm exactly the opposite now. So I was always self-development and kind of non-fiction, and now I've kind of branched out into fiction, only because in the evening now I don't want to watch TV, but I also want to read. But I don't want to read something that I have to learn. I wanted to kind of wind down, and I thought, okay, I have to switch to fiction now. So that's what I started doing as well. So you can be, in terms of reading, you can have a very fixed mindset with kind of like the path that you're going down until you broaden your horizons, and then you see that actually reading fiction is actually really cool, because in a way you are learning, aren't you? Because you're using your imagination.
Definitely, it's all the imagery, it's escapism. It's not that fiction is fixed and non-fiction is growth. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I was very stuck in a little bubble of I'm only going to read this. But now I've opened that up, and it's fiction's incredible because there are lessons and stories in there, but you're involving yourself in the story, so you're learning it in a very different way. You're not being told this is how you should react in this situation. You're experiencing it as that character, as those characters,
as you would.
So it's very different, but both equally beautiful.
Do like that.
Yeah, very true. It's about, and stretching your mind and what you read. You might find something that you've never looked at and you really enjoy, or you might, I think somebody, I can't remember who said it, but if I read non-fiction, because so there's no self-development in non-fiction. And I tell you what, you can learn so much from characters.
In fiction, do you mean?
In fiction, yeah.
Yeah.
I've always got those two that wrong, and I know what they are, and I know it's fiction and non-fiction, but yeah, it's
muscle memory now.
Yeah, it's just ingrained. But
yeah, you're so right.
You can change that. Yeah, but you can learn just from the characters. Like if I read, so I wrote about it in my email this week about vision boards, right? And the idea came back to me because I was reading a crime novel, and the old detective said, "Let's start putting everything on the wall." And I was like, "Well, that's just a vision board." Like when they were talking about the crazy wall, which I found out that's what it is when the detectives put them on the wall. But it's like you can get these inspirations from reading,
definitely,
fiction books.
Yeah,
there we are. So get it the right way.
Yeah.
Definitely. I can put in some recommendations. I do have a stack here if you want some recommendations on that.
I need no more books. I'm not sure if you can see how many books I've got, but I've got a large number. I think I could rival Nikki for her library.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've been on a bit of a spending spree.
Oh boy.
Book off. Let's have a book.
I've got 27th of one type waiting here to go out. Plus another library. I sorted out all the books I used to read as a kid as well, which is lovely. I want to read everything again. I can't.
I wish I had all my books from the kids. I wish I had the Hardy Boys collection. No, I do not have them.
I just read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory about
over and over again.
Over and over again. I can't tell you how many times I read Charlie and the
Did you move on to Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator?
No.
It's the same.
That's a better book.
No.
Now, what is your favourite Roald Dahl book then? Is it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
100%. It's the only one I've read.
Mine.
I love the BFG or the Giraffe, the Pelly and Me, or a lot of the Witches is brilliant. SEO Trot, James and the Giant Peach is incredible.
Yeah.
I can't pick. I can't pick favourite books at all. I can pick favourite books I've read in the last month. That's easy. Ish. But no, that's so difficult.
I've only got one.
But it's a good one.
Oh, there's a whole.
That is a good one. The twist is brilliant.
Yeah,
I still remember that, and the increase in the height of their walking stick, so she feels like she's getting smaller. Yeah. I love that. Roald Dahl was incredible. Yeah,
his books be nice. I'll just.
Well,
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. As my camera goes and exposes me.
You're exposed.
Feel exposed.
How do we do this? Sometimes we end up on a really focused subject. That's something.
I'm sorry. I'll
take
that one. I'm sorry.
I have a thing with growth mindset and fixed mindset on exercise and stuff.
Yes.
Because I was very fixed minded about weight training until I started Couch to 5K and started running. And I became now I'm more interlinked, and now I'm doing yoga because now I've done the 30 days of yoga. And now I'm like, wow. And before I was like, I don't need yoga. I don't need to be told how to breathe and stretch and stuff. I don't need it. And I think that it's very important to have a growth mindset as well, not only just to kind of branch out into different avenues of training and stuff, but also in terms of starting from the bottom and saying, I'm never going to be like Sunny Webster, the powerlifter, and do that. you kind of just have to be open and understand that your abilities are going to take time as well, and be willing to accept criticism with things like form and everything like that. I think that in exercise as well, it's also very important to have a growth mindset.
Definitely, because it's continuous improvement, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to keep getting better, maybe there's other things you could be doing, like the yoga and running. They're all, I'm sure, interlinked and helping you.
Just boost your performance in terms of what you actually want.
Compliment.
100%.
Yeah, that's the word.
That's the word.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Struggling with words today. Great.
How do you feel about keto then, Danny?
Keto. Do you know what? The thing with keto, everyone's going to be like, oh, keto. But I don't mind. For me, if I start a diet, right, and I cut out carbs, I actually don't crave them as much. But it's not the be all and end all. You don't need the actual diet. So I think I think that the people that sell the keto diet mislead people to think that you need to demonize carbs and stuff, and carbs are bad for you. But I think once you have an understanding of your own body and your own diet, it's up to you to make the decision what you want to do. It's whether the ketones that people sell and stuff, those are the ones that are a complete waste of money. That's what I don't agree with, because those people are then going
preying on this.
Exactly. They're preying on the people that don't have that knowledge or understanding, whereas I do.
I think it's a bit like a lot of things. If you want to do it something your way, that's fine, but don't force it on other people or let people make the decisions for themselves very much. If it works for you, great. And sure, talk about it, but don't push it to an extent that someone that hasn't got all that knowledge to make that decision, because it's not a fair battle then, is it? I think
that's a misselling, and it's a preying on individuals.
Definitely.
I only asked you that because there can be those that are for the keto diet have got a fixed mindset about it, and those that are against it have also got a fixed mindset about being against it. So Danny, you've actually shown you've got a growth mindset, because
I paused then.
But no, I asked that one because even in the comedy it came up the other night about somebody saying a guy was talking about how he was doing keto diet, or he'd done keto diet and he lost loads of weight, but he said and even he said, but I put it all back on. He said, so what sort of diet do you recommend for somebody like who's been on where keto worked, but then it didn't work? And his bit of the comedy gold after that was, he said, bearing in mind I had Domino's for breakfast this morning. But it's also like have my experience with talking to somebody else recently is, I think we've all been part of the James Smith Academy, or we've all been in Danny's qualified. That when you hear about calorie deficit, you gain an understanding of why, and you understand that, it's almost hard to think that there's people out there who don't get it, and you're like, God, it's so simple, but because we've learned about it.
I think we're in a little bubble there as well, a little echo chamber.
Are we in? But are we in a fixed mindset about it? It's
probably,
but it is I still think that people need to shout that from the rooftops and tell people about it, because there's so little understanding that actually that's all diets are, and it doesn't matter what diet you choose if you make it fit into that, because you could be keto and still be over putting on weight.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's especially difficult with keto, because keto you have to, obviously it's high fat as well, so obviously fat is more calorific, but people don't understand that, so they can go so overboard with their calories when they're supplementing carbs with fat that it can be counterproductive from a weight loss perspective. If you're diabetic or something, then obviously that means that your insulin, and don't know the nitty-gritty of it, but if you're doing it from a diabetic point of view, then obviously it's good for you, but then you have to make sure that you're monitoring your fat. But all of this is counterproductive if we're trying to lose weight.
But the thing is, it's about a deeper understanding. Just where we're talking about knowledge there, it's about a deeper understanding of not just about calorie deficit. Well, what is a calorie? And the fact that protein is like 4, but really it's 3, calories per gram, and fat's 9 calories per gram. So like, if you're looking at volume, you can have 3 times the amount of protein for every gram of fat. If you're understanding one, for every gram of carbs, you carry 3 grams of water. And understanding that about weight and everything like that. That actually with anything, and I guess a case of with the growth mindset is improve your knowledge.
Do what you can with what you have until you know better.
That's very true.
It's that kind of thing. And that's, I think that comes from a place of activism and stuff, but it's the kind of saying, you do what you can with the knowledge you have, but be prepared to learn and be re-educated on whatever. So once if you've been told and being forced keto and you think, okay, right, well, I'll do what I can with that until I know better. And actually, let me look at this. Is this maybe a different thing that works for me? Or is this, there's lots of different.
But it's actually being prepared to go and learn.
Prepared to be wrong as well. That's the difficult thing.
Prepared to be wrong. Yeah, not just about your diet or
this applies to so many things. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
And it's not my quote. That is someone else's that I can't. No, just not my quote.
You can't be an academic and reference it.
No, I can't reference it. I couldn't tell you where it's come from, but I've read it a lot, and it's not mine.
But how true is that though? With a growth mindset, you do have to say, I think that one of the strongest traits of a growth mindset is acknowledging that you're going to fail at some point, but you're going to learn from your failures. That's the one thing I've taken from having a growth mindset, is that I don't know everything. And if I don't know something, I'm not going to tell someone I know. But what I can do is I can go research until I do know. And that's, for me, is a growth mindset. Unless I don't know how a fixed mindset would handle a situation like
they wouldn't. It sort of shuts down and done with it. They're not even acknowledging there's another option, is there?
Or do you think they will say they're right even though they're wrong?
They apportion blame. If they're wrong, it was somebody else's fault. There's a lack of ownership with a fixed mindset.
Yes, that's very true.
And again, what we're not saying here is that everybody fits into one of those boxes. It's just,
oh my gosh, no. And it's different with different things. Like Danny said, it's different areas of your life that you might have different thoughts and feelings and different things.
It's like people thinking they can't diet and have cake. Well, Nikki will tell you, yes, you can.
Yes, you can. You can have donuts for breakfast and lose weight if you really want to.
Yeah, that's very true.
But let's just acknowledge that it's not easy to switch between fixed and growth. If you've been fixed on, let's say dieting, because that's an easy one to stick with. If you've been so fixed with, I don't know, maybe keto is not a good one because it's a bit newer. Maybe if you've been so stuck with Weight Watchers is the only way you lose weight, because you do lose weight on there. And when you come off there, you put it back on, but you sort of yo-yo through it. It's going to be quite difficult to move from fixed to growth. There's going to be quite a lot of mental. There's probably outside source and resource that's going to influence that as well. But I think it's difficult to move sometimes when you've been, especially things that are sort of ingrained from, I don't want to say childhood with Weight Watchers, but you know what I mean. I think there's some
and it's
something to be said for moving.
It's easier to have something already set in stone and something that you trust already, to move on to something else that might be better for you. It is, like you say, a comfort zone.
Yes, definitely.
From a diet point of view, or even like an exercise point of view, though, it's our job as a coach or a personal trainer then to educate people as to why things like that work, or why Weight Watchers works.
And that's it. And that's the outside resource that is going to help you change that mindset. So I think sometimes it's quite difficult to do that kind of thing, which is where wonderful coaches come in, like you guys.
Exactly. And then you find a link that, all right, this is why Weight Watchers worked, and this is how we're going to use it into something that's more kind of sustainable for you. And that's how we as coaches and personal trainers and stuff can help other people go from fixed to growth.
Yeah.
The thing I've learned about it is that if you're finding yourself in a situation where you feel that you're looking to blame, ask yourself quite a simple question is, okay, hypothetically, what if this is on me and only me? What could I do differently?
That's good.
And if you put yourself in that situation, quite often you'll think, well, and it might only be a small thing. Well, if I had done X, a really tiny thing, then I wouldn't have been in that situation. Okay, well, what can I do next time to not do X?
Yeah.
And you're not approaching the blame, and then that immediately gives you something to work on.
That's really good. I like that.
It's but it's hard to sit back and be reflective.
Definitely.
And journaling, I think, is a good way to be reflective.
I'd agree.
If you start
100%.
Just by writing out in the morning your thoughts and and journaling about situations as they arise, quite often you end up coming away going, oh, okay, that's on me.
Oh, I did that this morning. It does work. It's very good. You kind of check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah. The checking yourself, it definitely.
But having that self check-in. And also the other thing is question your language. So if you're saying I can't, I won't, I don't, how to think of I can, I will, I do. Because if you say I can't draw, just means that you choose to do something else.
I choose to believe I can't do it.
Yeah, I choose to believe I can't do it. Our history is telling me X. What if that's changed?
Yeah.
I don't like olives. All right, it's changed. I didn't like olives until December when my friend said, just try these ones. And I was like, oh, I've tried them all before and I've squared my face up and blah, blah. And he was like, just try this one. And I was like, all right, I'm prepared now to get that horrible taste in my mouth again. And I was like, no horrible taste. What happened?
Were they the big green Sicilian ones?
They were.
A
bit lemon. Oh.
Yeah, lemon and pepper.
Or stuffed with garlic. I love the big garlic cloves in.
So I never
I
liked
have a
olives.
fixed mindset.
You've got a fixed mindset around olives.
Avocado.
I
have as well because I love them and will always love them. Therefore,
I love it. I didn't always love them. My nephew-in-law, I guess, is he still just your nephew? I don't know. He's not actually any link to me anyway.
I think it's still a nephew. It depends.
But since he was like 2 olives, do you want a sweet? No, can I have an olive, please? Well, you're 2. But Danny, they say it's an acquired taste. You say it's a mature taste, Danny. So
I'll get there then.
You'll get there.
But what I'm saying is that at 36, when I tried them and I liked them, it meant, I never thought I'd like them. I was just like, no, that is a one food that I can't eat because I eat everything else. But keep trying it. You never know.
Do you know what? That's how I felt about coffee, and I only started drinking coffee about 1.5 years ago.
So have you had an olive in the last 1.5 years?
I think I have by accident. And I was not happy.
That's not a nice surprise.
When they put them in the salad and you're like, oh, you bastards.
Right, I think on
that note.
Bastard olives.
I bet you have olive oil though.
Mother truckers. I do.
Let's see.
That doesn't taste of olives. That doesn't taste like those.
Not the same. It's like baby oil then. You have baby oil, yeah. It doesn't come from babies.
Oh Christ. Of course that was
Danny, as olive oil does come from olives. What an example. On that note.
Love that. Oh, I love that.
Right. What are you doing for your weekend, ladies?
Danny, you go first.
Not eating olives.
baby
No, I'm
olive.
not. I don't have anything planned. I am just going to carry on as if every day is the same, because it is.
So they all end in a Y.
Yeah, exactly. And a day. They do, don't they?
They do.
I love how you're questioning it. Do they? I'm not sure.
Making sure. What do you have planned, Nikki?
I'm getting ready for my launch on Monday. Unless you're an email subscriber, then you may have seen something interesting in your inbox. No, I'm reading. I've got today off work, so I've been playing with website today, and I've got the afternoon off now to read and enjoy the sunshine, which is fleeting at the moment. Yeah.
Yes, I'm going for my walk.
Ali,
what about you? You're free tomorrow, aren't you?
I'm free from isolation. It's free Ali. I didn't see any hashtag free Ali's anyway.
No, we want you to stay locked up. What did you say at the start? Stay at home.
Yeah, stay at home.
We're not freeing you.
I'd like to get to the supermarket because I'm slowly running out of food, which means I need to move more and I need to start eating less. So yeah, weekend, I'd like to at least get out for some walks and increase my steps and just see how far I can actually walk once I put my boots and my jacket on and just go.
Nice.
And yeah, just slowly building on recovery. Yeah, supermarket and walks, but that's all we can do, right? So, yeah, I might even put my face on for going to the supermarket.
Oh. Watch out, world. I
Watch out, world. I love that.
Other than that, I've got a call with my PT on Sunday. Put a plan in place for total recovery. Isn't that right?
That's right.
So yeah, fun packed weekend.
Very good.
We will speak to you next. We'll speak to you next Friday because I presume we'll still be in lockdown. And
it's fair to say.
Well, no, we are because there's no. So next Friday it is. Thank you very much, and thank you to all of our listeners.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
See you later.